Hi, this is Sarit Switzer, and welcome to the It Is Taught podcast, a podcast devoted to the teachings of Rabbi Shneur Zalman of Liadi as recorded in his most famous work, the Tanya. My hope for this show is to make these teachings accessible and relatable to the average person, regardless of prior Jewish education or affiliation. The episodes follow the prescribed daily study portions and are meant to serve as practical lessons in how to live your life as your true self and develop an authentic and powerful relationship with your Creator. I have personally experienced the effects the study of this work has had on me, and I'm excited to share what I can of this knowledge with you. So please join me on this journey of learning, self-growth, and connection with your source. Hi, and welcome to the It Is Taught podcast. This is episode 165 for the 5th of Iyar in a leap year. So have you ever felt starstruck? Did you ever see a celebrity on the street and kind of take a moment and, look at them in awe and maybe see if you can build up the courage to go speak to them? Maybe if they spoke to you, did you get super excited about it? So for most of us, even if we're not hugely into celebrities or really famous people, most of us would have this feeling. Most of us can relate to this idea that if you see somebody really famous or someone really important, and then that important person pays attention to you, then that's going to really arouse certain feelings in you, and you're going to really feel very excited about that, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. But in this case, the celebrity is God. So this episode, this portion of the Tanya directly follows yesterday's portion. And it's a continuation along the theme of the whole thing that we're talking about of like water mirrors water. So does the heart mirror the heart? Like this whole idea that basically that if somebody reflects love to another person and loves another person, that person that they love most likely will send love back. Like that's just kind of like human nature and how it works. And so now today we're going to continue along this theme. However, we're going to take it one step further. And so yesterday we were really talking about this relationship, this mirroring that happens between people of any kind, between equals or any people of any stature. And today we're going to take it to the next level, and we're going to talk about the mirroring that happens when the person that you're mirroring is actually someone much, much greater than you to a really infinite degree, like in the case of a king, for example, and how much more of an effect this mirroring will have on the recipient of this love from the king. So let's get into the text and see how the Alter Rebbe explains this. So the Alter Rebbe continues from last time, and he says that this mirroring aspect that we've been talking about of when one person loves another person, this will cause the other person to send love back. This is the nature which is at play in the characteristics of every single person. So this is human nature. Even if the two people are equal. Like if both people are of equal stature, then this is definitely the case of what's going to happen. And all the more so, says the Alter Rebbe, and how much more so would this be the case if it was a great and mighty king who would demonstrate his great and intense love to a simple layman who is just very lowly and considered very low. Like imagine if this was like some bum on the street or something like that, like somebody who's like really, really low, and somebody who the Alter Rebbe terms to be a disgraceful creature who is found in the garbage. And so imagine this is like a very lowly person, really literally like a bum, like a homeless person who is living in garbage. So imagine if the king were to demonstrate his love for such a person. And imagine if not only that, if the king came down from his place of glory with all of his ministers, and from that place, he lifted up this bum out of the trash, out of the garbage, and brought him into his chamber, into the chamber of the king. So just visualize that for a moment. And imagine that this king takes this bum off the street and brings him into his chamber, into the most innermost chamber, the most innermost room that he has, the place where no servant or minister enters into there. So he's really bringing him into his own, like, really private area. And imagine that there, this king unites with him with a very strong like unification and and true connection, like true closeness. And imagine that the king then comes and hugs him and kisses him, and they connect with their spirits and with their hearts and with their soul. So imagine how this bum would then feel, and imagine this lowly person, this person that, the person really, the Alter Rebbe describes as this very lowly individual. Imagine when the king gives him such respect and such acknowledgement and such love, then all the more so will this love be awakened within the bum, within this person, in a doubled and redoubled way. And he'll actually want to really be attached to the king with the fullness of his heart and from the depths of his heart and his soul. And even if such a person, says the Alter Rebbe, has a heart of stone, like let's say they're very stunted emotionally, then this heart, i.e. this stone, so to speak, will melt, and it will become like water, and it will pour out to his soul as if it was water, and it will actually cause him to want to really crave and want to be with the king, and crave for this longing of this love towards the king. So that's the end of the section. And so just to recap and bring it back full circle. So again, continuing with what we were talking about yesterday. So yesterday we talked about the idea of mirror neurons and the idea that if you merely just watch another person doing something, that's going to have an effect on you. And then we related that to the idea of how if you see somebody and you see that person reflecting love towards you, that will cause an equal exchange of love in you as well. And then today we took it to the next level, and we said that while this level of love reflecting love is true with any individual, all the more so is this going to be true when it comes to a very, very high person sending love to a very low person, like a king sending love to a lowly person and bringing him into his chamber and into his own private home and all of that. And if you haven't noticed by now, the analog of the king in this case is God. And we are considered these lowly bum-like creatures that God is giving us this kind of love and respect to. So we will continue with this theme tomorrow. Stay tuned, and I will speak to you then. Thanks for listening to the It Is Taught podcast, hosted by Sarit Switzer. This podcast is dedicated in loving memory of my maternal grandfather, Avraham Yitzchak ben Binyamin HaKohen of blessed memory. Music by Shoshana. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to support the show, please share it with others and subscribe on YouTube, Apple iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And make sure to leave us a 5-star review. To find out more about the It Is Taught project, including more information on my soon-to-be published book, please visit our website, itistaught.com. To catch the latest from me, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Looking forward to speaking with you tomorrow, and until then, have a great day.